Good morning. Today I just kind of want to talk about the dangerous tongue. This morning I've been watching a YouTube video and just kind of getting fed some preaching, and honestly, it's one of the things that I struggle with, and I just kind of started going down a list in my heart. I asked the Lord, what am I struggling with, or what do I struggle with, Lord? Because sometimes we can be naive and not really realize what we actually are struggling with or what we got going on sometimes. And maybe it's because you don't want to or whatever it may be. But I just say, Lord, search my heart. What's wrong with me, Lord? What can I do to improve, to get closer to you, Lord? And one of the things that came up to me this morning was my tongue. This little thing, this little muscle inside my mouth, this little pink muscle in my mouth. um Now here's the thing. Like just like we can tame a horse, and we can tame these all these animals. I mean, big whales, lions. I mean, you got dudes at circuses that can put their heads inside the lion's mouth, and the lion not eat them, basically. um and as wild as and strange as that may sound, it's the truth. Mankind can tame animals, but the thing that we cannot tame is our tongues. Let me turn over. We're going to turn to James chapter 3 real quick. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of this. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I don't want this video to be too long this morning. I just want to encourage somebody today with this word that I feel like the Lord has given me, and I pray that the motivation and the encouragement behind it that I've received, that I will be able to correlate to you, and you can also get a piece of this word, okay? So James chapter 3, I'm going to start in verse 2. It says, "For we all stumble in many ways. If someone does not stumble in speech, he is a perfect man." And it ain't saying that anybody's perfect. That's just saying that for a man, if a man can tame his tongue and ultimately have perfect speeches in a sense of what it's saying, that it's saying that he's a perfect man, able to bridle the whole body as well. Now, what this is actually saying is that a man that can control his tongue can control his body. You can't control your body because you can't control your tongue. Where we at? Verse 3. "And if we put bits into the mouths of horses," now this goes back to what I was talking about before about taming animals and stuff. "And if we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we guide their whole body as well. See also the ships." We're talking about like ships, like boat ships. "See also the ships, though they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the wheel of the pilot directs. So also the tongue is a small member, yet it boasts of great things." I mean, it's saying that we boast of great things with our mouths. "But see how small a fire sets a blaze, so great a forest." It's talking about how we can, like, how our mouths can stir things up so fast and create, these problems and situations. If you go look at somebody the wrong way and say something the wrong way to somebody, they're going to take it to heart. So I'm just going to keep going. So it says, "See how so small a fire sets a blaze, so great a forest." And what it's talking about is talking about our tongues being an actual fire, that out of our tongues have power of life and death. And because of that, that's a fire burning in your mouth. This tongue that we have is a fire burning inside of us, and distribute it, and how we talk to people, and how we say things to people, and what we say in general, it's either speaking life or death. So verse 6, "And the tongue is a fire." It says it right there in verse 6. The tongue is a fire. "The tongue is a world of evil placed among our body parts. It pollutes the whole body and sets on fire the course of life." Excuse me. Excuse me. "It pollutes the whole body and sets on fire the course of life, and is set on fire by hell." Now I'm gonna reiterate this because, like, when I heard it and then I read it, I was like, wow, you know, because and for me to be transparent with you, like, I mean, I know I struggle with my tongue. I used to not. I used to not do it so much, but as far as when it came to cursing, and cussing and stuff like that, and I realized, that I remember, coming up in high school and graduating and stuff, and even for a few years after that. I mean, I remember, like, I tamed myself to where when I thought about saying cuss words or saying this or saying that, I wouldn't say those things, but I was still saying like other words that replaced those words. And I guess any way you want to look at it, I don't care if you're saying the actual words or saying, the other words that to replace those words. I feel like your heart's still in the same place whenever you're saying all these different words, and us as humans, like, we say a ton of things, but check this out. The Bible says that we're gonna be judged on every careless word ever spoken, every careless word that we have ever spoken, and I mean that had me thinking pretty deep. Honestly, I one of the things that when I pray to the Lord, I don't know if He offers for forgiveness for the words that we said, but if I've said some stuff in my life that I know that I don't feel like it's pleasing to the Lord, I just say, Lord, you know, I say, Lord, please forgive me for saying anything I might have said, God, that wasn't like you. Anything that I said that wasn't speaking life. And I just ask God to forgive me. I ask God to renew a right spirit within me, because I know that I'm a fail. I know that I'm a stumble. And I know that sometimes I'm not going to, you know, meet Him where He needs me to. Um, and so I'm gonna go on and keep reading here. Where we at? I'm gonna kick it back up halfway through verse 6 here. It says, the tongue is a world of evil placed among our body parts. It pollutes the whole body and sets on fire the course of life, and is set on fire by hell. Verse 7. For every species of beasts and birds, reptiles and sea creatures is tamed and has been tamed by mankind. That's what I was talking about earlier. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With it we bless our God and Father, and with it we curse people who are made in the image of God. And so what I like about this is what I love about what this is saying right now is that I don't care who you run into, I don't care who you got in front of you. If we don't as followers of Christ all get into our mindset that every person we see, I don't care who they are, whether they got money, don't got money, if they're on the side of the street, if they're homeless, if they're not homeless, whatever, we were all made in God's image. And for us and for us to have some sense of pride or dignity in our in our general thoughts and minds, being blessed Christian people and following the Lord. And the thing about saying you're a Christian is that there's some people that make that name look bad. So I don't like to use the term Christian. I just try to say I'm a follower of Christ, because I know that at the end of the day, everybody in this world can sit here and say, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian. But at the end of the day, are you a follower of Christ? And I also say I have a relationship with the Lord, with Christ. I don't say I have a religion or I'm religious. I don't claim that. I believe it's a relationship. Verse 10, from the same mouth comes blessings and curses. My brothers and sisters, these things should not be. A spring doesn't pour out fresh and bitter water from the same opening, does it? My brothers and sisters, can a fig tree produce olives or a vine produce figs? Neither can salt water produce fresh water. And so what this is just saying, there's no contradicting towards either thing. There's no way that you can get your tongue to you can't replace your tongue, okay? You can't change your tongue out. You can't put in a new one. It says right there in James that we cannot tame our tongue. There is no absolutely way that you can just tame your tongue. Now, what I'm about to do now is we're turning to Matthew chapter 12, and I want you to turn over to verse 34. Matthew 12, verse 34. Now, what I'm about to read to you is either going to make or break you, okay? What you're about to hear right now is going to make or break you with this word, and wherever you want to take it from here is on you. But I'm just throwing this nugget out there to you guys, and I hope that the setting behind this can give you a thought about today. And as you're going about your day, just kind of think about the things you say before you say them today. That's one of the things that I'm gonna be working on today, because the tongue, the Bible says that the tongue is a deadly poison. That out of this mouth that we have, we can speak life or death. But most importantly, that one of the things that that I feel like I'm gonna be thinking on a lot today is the things that I say and the things I hear other people say. That one day we're all going to be judged on the careless words that we've spoken. All right, so Matthew chapter, let me make sure I'm in the right chapter here. Yeah, chapter 12, verse 34. You brood of vipers, and this is where I feel like, let me see. This is where they were speaking to the Pharisees, I believe. It says, you brood of vipers, how can you who are evil say anything good? For from the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. And so what this is saying is that, let me move my notes over here. It says, so what comes out of your mouth is a reflection of your heart. You can't tame your tongue by changing your tongue. You have to have a change of your heart, and your heart will change your tongue. And so what I feel like this is coming down to is that when you allow the Lord to change your heart, and when you have allowed the Lord to change your heart, and you've accepted the Lord into your life, and you've been made new, you start to realize that, saying all these careless words and saying all these things and throwing this evilness out of your mouth, and this perversion, these cuss words, these negative things, and speaking death over other people, that we're all made in God's image. Now I understand when people do you wrong. I get it. I get done wrong a lot. I understand. There's sometimes where I've said things that I shouldn't have said, and I ask God to forgive me for saying those things. And that's one thing too. Like if you're in the position and you said some things about another person, and you're trying to figure out how to make that right with God, I would just say that I would if I was talking to you in person, I would tell you, listen, I'd ask God to just forgive you for those words, and that person that you spoke death, or spoke over them any kind of evil way, or gossip about that person. I would just say to ask the Lord to bless that person, and that the Lord would bless them, and let them be prosperous in the things that they're doing. And ultimately, I'd pray for their salvation, just like I would pray for your salvation, or whoever gets the time to listen to this video today. But this is kind of where I got with my word this morning. Like I said, the title of this is Dangerous Tongue. If you want to go watch this video I watched this morning, it's Pastor John K. Jenkins Sr. It's just, if you type in his name, or if you just type in Dangerous Tongue, Pastor John K. Jenkins on YouTube, you should be able to find that YouTube video I watched. He broke it down really well, and I really enjoyed it this morning. Like I said, I hope that this word will go forth, and that you'll be able to think about it today, and it'll kind of reside in your spirit today as you're at work or school or whatever it is you got going on. But guys, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I pray for blessings over your lives today. I just ask the Lord to be with you, and I just ask that this word would go forth in your hearts, and that that ultimately our hearts will be changed, because my heart needs to be changed as well. I love you guys. Y'all have a great day. If you need anything, hit me up, give me a call. You know where I'll be at. Y'all have a good day.